It's Cleveland Indians baseball. We're coming to you from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx as the Cleveland Indians take on the New York Yankees. Cleveland Indians have a 3-game losing streak going. After winning 3 in a row from California, Oakland came to Cleveland. And Tuesday night, first night game at Cleveland Stadium, Alan Foster faced Oakland. He didn't pitch too badly for 6 innings, but he gave up 2 consecutive home runs. A 2-run home run to Rick Monday and then a home run to Dave Duncan in the third, putting Oakland ahead 3-0. And that was all Oakland needed. Catfish Hunter threw a 3-hit shutout against the Indians, and Oakland ended up winning the game 4-0. And the next night, Sam McDowell faced Oakland, and in 8 innings, he struck out 14 batters, gave up 6 hits, but 2 of those hits were home runs to Mike Epstein, who was playing in his 4th game since coming over to Oakland via trade from Washington. One was with the bases empty, and one was with 1 man on base. The Indians went into the 9th inning leading 4-3. Epstein's 2-run home run had come in the 8th when the Indians were leading 4-1. But the Indians' bullpen couldn't hold the lead. Steve McGorry came in to get the save. He faced 2 batters, walking 1 and giving up a hit. He was replaced by Phil Hennigan, who walked the first hitter he faced, loading the bases with nobody out. Then he got 2 quick outs, fly balls into the outfield, but the A's weren't willing to run on the arms of Roy Foster and Vada Pinson. It looked like he was going to get away with the save, and then he walked Sal Bando to force in the tying run. And then Mike Epstein got his 3rd hit of the game, driving in a run. Or he drove in 2 runs, actually, giving him 5 RBIs for the game. Oakland ended up scoring 4 runs that inning, going into the bottom of the 9th, leading 7-4. Roy Foster, or Chuck Hinton, pinch hit leading off the bottom of the 9th, and he hit a home run that cut the lead to 7-5. But that was as close as the Indians could make it. They lost that game 7-5 and lost both games of the 2-game set against Oakland. They were off on Thursday, and then last night in New York, the Yankees scored 5 runs against Steve Dunning. He left the game in the 7th. And then Ray Lamb came in. They scored 2 unearned runs off him in the 8th. While Stan Bonson held the Indians to 2 runs. And he got his 5th win of the season. Let's see what New York has been doing. New York had been on the skids. They actually broke a 3-game losing streak last night. And that 3-game losing streak let Baltimore jump back ahead of them in the first place. So New York is a half game out of first place. The Indians' loss dropped them to a record of 13-18. They are 7 games out. Boston and Washington are tied for third. They each have a 500 record. And Cleveland is 2.5 games behind those. And Detroit is in last place, 10 games out. So we will be right back with the starting lineups. All right, Vada Pinson led off the game with a single. Here is Cleveland's starting lineup. Leading off is first center fielder Vada Pinson. Batting second to left fielder Ted Uhlaender. Batting third to catcher Ray Fosse. Batting fourth to third baseman Greg Nettles. Batting fifth to first baseman Chuck Hinton. Batting sixth to shortstop Eddie Leone. Batting seventh to second baseman John Lowenstein. Batting eighth to right fielder Ted Ford. And batting ninth to pitcher Rich Hand. On defense, the Yankees have Kurt Blefary at first, Horace Clark at second, Frank Baker at shortstop, Jerry Kenny at third base, Roy White in left field, Bobby Mercer in center field, Philippe Alou in right field. Catching is Thurman Munson, and pitching is Steve Klein. Steve Klein, fastball pitcher. He has a record of 1-2 with an ERA of 7.39. He has 2 saves. Going into this game, he gave up 40 hits, 5 of those home runs. He has walked 11 and struck out 7. And a spoiler alert, Steve Klein is a future member of the Cleveland Indians. Batting second is Ted Uhlaender, the left fielder. He's hitting .283, no home runs and 5 runs batted in. High and in, ball 1. Caught the outside part of the plate, strike 1. They call him balk on him. Pinson takes second. 1-1 pitch. It's fly ball down the right field line. Blue after it. Makes the seats. Strike 2. Fenway Park, the Orioles are taking on the Red Sox. No score in the first inning. Uhlaender hits a base hit up the middle. Mercer's up with it. And Pinson holds at third. Runners at the corners. Nobody out. Here is Ray Fosse. Last night's game, Ray Fosse went 4 for 4 with a run scored. He had 2 doubles. Wednesday night against Oakland, he hit his first home run of the season. So he's hitting .288 now with 1 home run and 16 runs batted in. Grounder to first. Blefary up with it. Throw to second for 1. Back to first. Double play. 3-6-3 double play, but Pinson scored. The Indians take a 1-0 lead. Here is Greg Nettles hitting .288, 7 home runs, 23 runs batted in. He's hitting .260 in May. It's a grounder up the middle. Clark dives to his right from his knees. The throw to first. Nettles is out. The Indians get 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, no one left. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Cleveland 1, New York coming to bat. For New York, it will be leading off the second baseman, Horace Clark. Batting second to third baseman, Jerry Kenny. Batting third, the center fielder, Bobby Mercer. Batting fourth, the left fielder, Roy White. Batting fifth, the catcher, Thurman Munson. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Philippe Alou. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Kurt Blefary. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Frank Baker. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Steve Klein. Cleveland on defense will have Chuck Hinton at first, John Lowenstein at second, Eddie Leone at shortstop, Greg Nettles at third, Ted Eulander in left, Vada Pinson in center, Ted Ford in right, Ray Fosse catching, and on the mound is Rich Hand. Rich Hand's making his second start of the season. He's a hard-throwing fastball pitcher. Speaking of hard throwing, the other night against Oakland, Phil Hennigan, for the first time this season that I saw, was hitting 100 miles an hour on the radar gun. Rich Hand has made 1 start since getting called back up from Wichita, where he was on what would today be called a rehab assignment. We pitched against California. He pitched 5 innings. He gave up 1 hit. He walked 3 and he struck out 4. He has no one-loss record yet this season. Leading off is the second baseman, Horace Clark, hitting .269, 1 home run and 12 runs batted in. The 1-2 pitch. It's a grounder back to the box. Rich Hand is up with it and throws him out. 1 out. Here is Jerry Kenny, the third baseman, hitting .226 with 1 home run and 7 runs batted in. Spoiler alert, Jerry Kenny is a future member of the Cleveland Indians. The 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. Kenny works him for a walk. Here is Bobby Mercer. Mercer is hitting .313 with 6 home runs, 28 runs batted in. He's off to a good start this season. This is May 15th, 1971. In a little while, the Preakness will be running. And I'll be sure to give you the results of that. He's hitting .318 in May. Strike 1 called. Little high, ball 1. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. It's a ground ball to short. Leone is only plays at first. Throws out Mercer. 1 out. 2 outs. Sorry, Jerry Kenny takes second. Here is Roy White hitting .289, 1 home run, 12 runs batted in. Roy White's career with the Yankees goes back to a cup of coffee in 1965, and he became a regular in 1966, I believe that he is the dean of the Yankees. Well, no, I take that back. Mel Stottlemyre is the dean of the Yankees. And I believe Roy White would be right behind him. At the belt, strike one. That was a changeup. Curveball, ball one. Fastball, up and in, ball two. It's a grounder to short. Eddie Leone to throw to first. 3 outs. No runs, no hits, no errors, one left. We've played 1 inning in New York. It is the Indians 1, the Yankees nothing. Chuck Hinton leads off for Cleveland. He's hitting .292. 2 home runs and 7 runs batted in. He had a pinch hit home run last night. The 1-1 pitch. It's a hard grounder right back to Klein. Go to first, 1 out. That was a slider. Here is Eddie Leone. He's hitting .293. No home runs, 9 runs batted in. He's hitting .321 in the month of May. The 1-2 pitch. Fly ball in the left field. Roy White going back near the track. He's got it. 2 outs. Here is John Lowenstein, the second baseman. He's hitting .103 with 1 home run and 3 runs batted in. He's 3 for 29. One of his 3 hits, though, was a home run. Hitting .136 against right-handers. The 0-2 pitch. Hits that one right back to the mound. Klein is up with it and throws him out. 3 outs. Nothing across for Cleveland. In the second. We go to the bottom of the second. It is Cleveland 1, New York nothing. It'll be Thurman Munson, Philippe Alou, and Kurt Blefary for the Yankees. Thurman Munson's hitting .269 with 3 home runs and 9 runs batted in. Let me look it up here. Munson had a great rookie season last year. Hit .305. 5 home runs. He drove in 62 runs. Had more walks and strikeouts. Had 29 doubles. He was the runner-up for Rookie of the Year last year behind Minnesota's Burt Blyleven. The 1-2 pitch. It's a liner down the line of third. That's in the corner. Fair ball. Munson's going for second. He dives. He's safe with a double. That's his 5th double of the year. Very little foul ground in that portion of Yankee Stadium. Uhlaender was right on it. Here is Philippe Alou. He's hitting .304 with 1 home run and 21 runs batted in. He came over to the Yankees in the first week of the season from Oakland. Great from Yeah, I just looked it up, and Alou was traded for Rob Gardner and Ron Klimkowski because the A's had some serious issues with their pitching staff coming out of spring training. Alou at first was upset about being traded. It had nothing to do with coming to New York. But he didn't like being traded at this stage of his career. And he had finally got his family settled in Oakland after coming over from the Braves to the A's last season. Before last season, he had been strictly a National League player with San Francisco Giants and the Milwaukee and then Atlanta Braves. Hitting .353 in May. Fastball, strike one. It's a base hit into right field. Once it holds at third, they're not running on Ted Ford's arm. Here's Kurt Blefary. He is hitting .262. 3 home runs, 10 runs batted in. Blefary spent most of his career with Baltimore, coming up with them in 1965, moving over to Houston in 1969, and then coming to the Yankees last season. Nobody out, runners on the corners. Curveball. Blefary pops it up on the infield. Lowenstein calls for it, and he has it. 1 out. Here is Frank Baker. On the game, he is designated as Frank W. Baker, which is to separate him from other Frank Baker, who right now is playing in the Indians system in Wichita. The Indians' Frank Baker appeared in 15 games in 1969 with the Indians. So there are 2 Frank Bakers. Hitting .278, no home runs, no runs batted in. Swing and a miss on a changeup, strike 1. Swing and a miss on the fastball, strike 2, no balls and 2 strikes. Outside, ball 1. Baker wasn't chasing. See, this Frank Baker, yeah, he was a rookie last year with the Yankees. He got into 23 games. He was 5 for 19 on the season, hit .263. And he played shortstop in 6 games. So he's a rookie this season. That was almost in the dirt. Ball 2. It's a hard grounder to third. Nettles dives. He has it. Throw to second for 1. No throw to first. Munson scores. Nettles made a great diving stop on that. But the Yankees score. They tie the game 1-1. Here's the pitcher, Steve Klein, sitting .200. No home runs. He has 2 runs batted in. He is 2 for 10 on the season. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Too high, ball 1. Ball 2. Fouls it back. He evens the count at 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. But the Yankees get 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. We played 2 in New York. It is Cleveland 1, New York 1. Cleveland in the third, it will be Ted Ford, Rich Hand, and Veda Pinson. Ted Ford's hitting 186, no home runs, 4 runs batted in. The 0-2 pitch. It's a 2-bouncer to Kenny. Throw to first, 1 out. Here is Rich Hand. He is batting 1,000. He is 2 for 2 on the season with no home runs and 1 run batted in. The 1-0 pitch. Base hit in the right field. He remains perfect at the plate this season. Runner on first, 1 out. Here's Veda Pinson, who's 1 for 1. He singled to lead off the game. Swing and a miss, strike 1 on a changeup. Low and outside, ball 1. Hits a grounder up the middle. Baker to his left, steps on second. No throw to first. There's 2 outs. Veda Pinson's on first. Here's Ted Eulander, who's 1 for 1. He singled in the first. Slider, swing and a miss, strike 1. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Just above the letters, ball 1. Long fly ball in the left field. Roy White near the wall, and he's got it. 3 outs, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the third. It's Cleveland 1, New York 1. Horace Clark leads off getting for the Yankees. I forgot to give the weather report. It's 80 degrees, winds are 1 mile an hour out to center field, and we have light rain. Clark is 0 for 1. He grounded out to the pitcher in the first inning. The 0-2 pitch. It's a bouncer to first. Hinton is up with it. And he'll take it himself. 1 out. Here is Jerry Kenny. He walked in the first inning. 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. Looked like Kenny got crossed up there. 2 outs. Here's Bobby Mercer, who's 0 for 1. He grounded into a force play in the first. The 1-2 pitch hits fly ball in the right field. Ford is there, and he has it. 3 outs, nothing across for New York. The third, we go to the 4th inning. We're tied at 1 apiece. Around the league and top of the third at Fenway Park, Baltimore leads Boston 4-0. That is Mike Cuellar against former member of the Indians, Sonny Seaberg. Ray Fosse leads off for Cleveland in the 4th. He is 0 for 1. Grounded into a double play that scored Veda Pinson in the first. 2-0 pitch. Curveball. Fosse hits a base hit in the left field. White sends it back in. Next up is Greg Nettles. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out to Horace Clark his last time up. Nobody out. Runner on first. Slider. Too high. Ball 1. Too low, ball 2. Fastball, too high, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Swing and a miss on the fastball, strike 1. It's grounded to third. Kenny dives. Second. No throw to first. Bossy's out. Nettles is on first. A great play by Jerry Kenny. Take the possible double and possible run. Here is Chuck Hinton, who's 0 for 1. He grounded out to the pitcher in the second inning. Swing and a miss, strike 1. He was way ahead of that changeup. Low and inside, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout of the game for Steve Klein. Here is Eddie Leone, who's 0 for 1. He flied out to the track in left field last time up. Curveball, strike 1. It's a liner in the right field. And Alou makes the catch. 3 outs, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Cleveland 1, New York 1. New York, they have a wider than normal warning track around the field that I don't know if they're still doing it in 1971, but I've seen film during like old World Series games where fans from the box seats would exit along the tracks, and there were exits for them to go out along the outfield wall in center field near the monuments. It looked like they could pass the monuments if they wanted to. At the bottom of the 4th, it'll be Roy White, Thurman Munson, and Felipe Alou. Roy White is 0 for 1. He grounded out to Eddie Leone last time up. 1-0 pitch. Curveball. Up the middle. Leone to his left. Has it, and he throws him out. 1 out. Here is Thurman Munson. He's 1 for 1. He doubled in the second inning down the left field line. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. And Munson walks. Munson scored the Yankees' only run of the game. Here is Felipe Alou. He's 1 for 1. He's singled. Second, Munson took third on that single. You don't want to take a chance on Ted Ford's arm. Ted Ford has one of the best outfield arms in the American League. Takes him off. He's got the call he wants. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Shallow fly ball. Right center Ford coming in. Lowenstein going back. Pinson coming in. And it drops between them. It's a cheap hit for Alou, the game says. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Probably should have been Ford's ball. Let's see. It looks like it should have been Ford's. Unless Ford thought that Lowenstein would take it. Here's Kirk Bleffery. He's 0 for 1. He popped out his first time up. Second inning. It's a base hit into left field. Uhlander up with it. Munson scores. Alou takes second. Alou moves to third. Bleffery heads for second. He dives, and he's safe. It's 2-1 New York. Here it's Frank Baker. He's 0 for 1. Grounded into a force play in the second that scored Thurman Munson. Just below the belt, strike one. Outside, ball one. Texas swing. Fosse appeals to third. Ump says no swing. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Ball 4. And here's the pitcher, Steve Klein. He's 0 for 1. He struck out in the second inning. Field draws in for, they're looking for a bunt. Popped in the air, first base side. Lowenstein's after it. But it makes the seats. Strike one. Just low, ball 1. Fly ball down the left field line. Uhlander after it. But that'll make the seats. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Curveball. Inside and just off the ground. Ball 2. Low, ball 3. Strike 3 called on a changeup. 2 outs. That was a clutch strike. Here it's Horace Clark, who's 0 for 2. He grounded to the pitcher in the first and grounded to first in the third. Fastball high, ball 1. Swing and a miss. He had a good cut, but couldn't. Was just ahead of the changeup. Strike 2 called. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded. Ball 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Excuse me, bases loaded. Liner down the first base side, but it's foul. Count remains 2-2. Anthony, strike 3 called. To retire the side, Rich Hand pitched himself out of a jam that inning. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. He left the bases loaded. We played 4 in New York. The Yankees lead 2-1. John Lowenstein leads off for the Indians. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to the pitcher in the second inning. 1-1 pitch. It's a fly ball to right field. Alou coming in, and he's got it. 1 out. Here is Ted Ford. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to third in the third inning. The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. That was a late call strike. Strikeout number 2 for Steve Klein. Pinch hitting for Rich Hand will be Gomer Hodge. Hodge is hitting 111. No home runs, 3 runs batted in. He is 3 for 27. He has 1 double. He's 1 for 11 as a pinch hitter. 3-1 pitch. It's a grounder second. Clark is up with it to throw to first. 3 outs, no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's an official game here in New York. The Yankees lead 2-1. Coming in a pitch. Cleveland is Camilo Pascual. He's making his 9th appearance of the season. He has a record of 2 wins, no losses, 2 saves. Pitched 19 and a third innings. He's given up 12 hits, 2 of those home runs. He's walked 13, struck out 17. Pascual looked pretty bad in his first 4 appearances with the Indians. But in his last 4, starting on April 24th against Kansas City, he has pitched really well. He's gotten 2 wins and 2 saves. Pascual, he's a figure of a bygone era now. He was the MVP of the second All-Star game in 1959. There were 2 All-Star games, I believe, from I think it was 1959 until 1962. May have been 2 in 1958. Well, I looked it up and I remember it correctly. There were 2 All-Star games from 1959 until 1962. First year after 1958 with just 1 All-Star game was 1963, and that All-Star game was held in Cleveland. Bottom of the 5th for the Yankees, it'll be Jerry Kenney, Bobby Mercer, and Roy White. Jerry Kenney's 0 for 1. He walked in the first and struck out in the third. 3-1 pitch. It's liner in the left field. Kenny rounds first. He dives into second. He is safe with a double. It's his 4th double of the year. Well, he's 37 years old, but he can still bring some heat with his fastball. Been around since 1954. Pitched with Washington Senators. Then moved along with them to the Minnesota Twins. Then he went to the expansion Washington Senators. Then to Cincinnati. Last year he was signed as a free agent by the Dodgers. And he was signed as a free agent at the very end of spring training this year by the Indians. That led to Phil Hennigan starting the season in Wichita. Bobby Mercer's 0 for 2. Grounded out in the first and flied out in the third. Roy White's on deck. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Low, ball 1. Second inning at Wrigley Field. No score between the Padres and the Cubs. Last week in a short 2-game series, Padres swept the first place San Francisco Giants. That helped Houston move into first place in the National League West. Houston's off to a good start. They have never had a winning season. Maybe this will be their first. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 on a changeup. Ball 3. Full count. It's a blooper in the center field. Pinson's up with it. He came in quick, and Kenny stopped at third. Kenny's got some good speed, but did not want to run on Pinson's arm. Well, New York has runners at the corners, no one out. And here's Roy White, who's 0 for 2. He grounded to the shortstop in the first and grounded to the shortstop in the fourth. High and inside, ball 1. Ball 2. Strike 1 called. It's another blooper in the center field. That's a base hit. Pinson's up with it. Kenny scores. Mercer rounds second. He'll take third. As Pinson throws to the cutoff. Yankees lead 3-1. Runners at the corner. Still nobody out. Here's Munson. He's 1 for 1. He doubled in the second and walked in the fourth. High, ball 1. Strike 1 called. Lays down a bunt to Hinton, who throws it to Lowenstein, covering first. He's out. Roy White goes to second. Credit Munson with a sacrifice. Here's Felipe Lou. He is 2 for 2 today. He singled in first. It's singled in the fourth. And they're going to intentionally walk him. Here's Kirk Leffrey, who is 1 for 2. He popped out in the second. He doubled in the fourth, driving in Munson. Field draws in for a play at the plate. It's a ground ball at the middle. Leone to his left. Goes to Fossey for 1. To Hinton. Double. No. Safe at first. Mercer was out at the plate. Looked at me like Leffrey was going to be out at first. He beat the throw. Here is Frank Baker, who's 0 for 1. He grounded into a force play in the second. That drove in Thurman Munson, and he walked in the fourth. So Munson has scored 2 of the Yankees' runs today. Third inning at Wrigley Field, yeah. Padres and Cubs, no score. Cubs got off to a slow start, but they worked their way up into second place in the National League East. They're tied with St. Louis behind Pittsburgh. Low for 1 with the bases loaded. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Change up, and he fouls that one back. Strike 2. High, ball 1. Too high, ball 2. Ball 3, full count, 2 outs. Bases loaded, the payoff pitch. Shallow fly ball in center field. Vada Pinson comes in, and he's got it. The Yankees get 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. They leave the bases loaded. Pasquale gave up 1 run that inning, but it could have been a lot worse. Played 5 at Yankee Stadium. It is New York 3, Cleveland 1. Cleveland in the sixth, it will be Veda Pinson, Ted Ulander, Ray Fosse. Pinson is 1 for 2. Singled in the first and grounded into a force play in the third. 1-0 pitch. It's a slow roller to second. Clark up with it to throw to first. 1 out. Here's Ted Ulander, who's 1 for 2. He singled in the first. Flied out to the warning track in left field in the third. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball at third. Kenny to his left. Has it. 2 outs. And here's Ray Fosse, who's 1 for 2. He grounded into a double play in the first. That scored Veda Pinson, and he singled in the fourth. Grounder up the middle. Clark to his right. Has it. Throw to first. 3 outs. Nothing across for Cleveland in the sixth. We go to the bottom of the sixth. It is New York 3, Cleveland 1. New York has 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They've left 8 men on base. Cleveland has 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. They've left 2 men on base. Leading off for New York in the sixth is the pitcher, Steve Klein, who is 0 for 2. Struck out twice today. 2-2 pitch. It's grounded to third. Nettles up with it to throw to first. 1 out. Here is Horace Clark. 0 for 3 today. Grounded to the pitcher in first. Grounded to first in the third. And struck out in the fourth. 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. Second walk of the game given up by Pascal. Here's Jerry Kenny, who's 1 for 2. He walked, struck out, and doubled in the fifth. Scored the Yankees' third run of the game. Low, ball 1. 1-0 pitch. There goes Clark. Grounder to Lowenstein. He's up with it to throw to first. 2 outs. Clark takes second on the hit and run. Here is Bobby Mercer, who's 1 for 3. Grounded out in the first, flied out in the third, and singled in the fifth. Fouls it back, strike 1. Fourth thing at Fenway. Boston has cut the Orioles' lead to 4-3. Changeup, liner down the third base line. That's foul. Too high, ball 1. It's a slow roller to first. Hinton has it. He'll take it himself. 3 outs, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. Played 6 at Yankee Stadium. It is the Yankees 3, the Indians 1. 7th inning for the Indians will be Greg Nettles, Chuck Hinton, and Eddie Leone. Nettles is 0 for 2 today. He grounded out in the first and grounded into a force play in the fourth. 1-1 pitch. Curveball. Bouncer to first. Leffery has it. He'll take it himself. 1 out. Here is Chuck Hinton, who's 0 for 2. He grounded out and struck out. Played first today, giving Ken Harrelson a day off. The Hawk got off to a strong start, but he is struggling the last couple weeks with the bat. And he's also made a few misplays in the field. talked about how after missing so much time the last two seasons that he's still having trouble maintaining his focus on the field. The 1-0 pitch. Fly ball into center field. Mercer coming in, and he's got it. 2 outs. And here's Eddie Leone, who's 0 for 2. He flied out and lined out. The 0-1 pitch. Up the middle, Baker to his left. Has it and throws him out. 3 outs, nothing across. Go to the bottom of the 7th. It is New York 3, Cleveland 1. Bottom of the 5th at Fenway. Orioles 4, Boston 3. Still Mike Cuellar against Sonny Siebert. Bottom of the 3rd at Wrigley Field. No score between the Padres and the Cubs. That is Dave Roberts for the Cubs, or for the Padres. He was the pitcher of the week in the National League last week. And Milt Pappas. They both have a 5-2 record. The bottom of the 7th for New York, it will be Roy White, Thurman Munson, and Felipe Alou. Roy White is 1 for 3. He grounded to the shortstop in the 1st inning and the 4th inning. And he singled in the 5th. That scored Jerry Kenny. The 0-2 pitch. Caught the outside corner. Strike 3 call. 1 out. And here's Thurman Munson, who is 1 for 1. He doubled in the 1st, walked in the 4th, and hit a sacrifice bunt in the 5th. 2 pitch. High and outside, ball 4. Walk number 3, given up by Pasquale. Walks have been a real problem for the Indians this season, especially from the bullpen. Here's Felipe Alou. He's 2 for 2. Singled in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, and was intentionally walked in the 5th. Fouls it back, strike 1. Base hit into center field. He rounds first. Flies into 2nd. Safe. Munson takes 3rd. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. 1 out. And here's Kurt Blefary. He is 1 for 3. Popped out in the 2nd. Double in the 4th. Grounded into a fielder's choice in the 5th when Eddie Leone threw out Bobby Mercer at home. They're going to intentionally walk him. And they're going to bring the infield in for Frank Baker, who is 0 for 2. Grounded into a force play in the 2nd. That scored Thurman Munson. Walked in the 4th and flied out in the 5th. 1 out, bases loaded. Swing and a miss, strike 1 on the fastball. Strike 2, caught the outside corner. Slow, ball 1. It's a grounder to 2nd. Lowenstein has it. He throws it a plate. Munson's out. Throws it first. Not in time. Bases loaded. 2 outs. It's the 2nd Yankee runner thrown out at the plate today. And the batter is Steve Klein. He's 0 for 3. He struck out in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th, and grounded out in the 6th. Grounder up the middle. Lowenstein to his right has it. The throw to hit 3 outs. Pasquale works out of a jam again in the seventh. No runs, one hit, no errors. And for the second time this game, the Yankees leave the bases loaded. We go to the eighth inning. It is New York 3, Cleveland 1. New York makes a couple of defensive changes. John Ellis coming in to play first base. And Jim Little coming in to play right field. They will be in place of Kurt Blefary and Philippe Alou. And spoiler alert, John Ellis, future member of the Cleveland Indians. For the Indians in the eighth, it will be Lowenstein, Ford, and the pitcher spot. Lowenstein is 0 for 2 today. He grounded to the pitcher in the second and flied out to right field in the fifth. First pitch, it's a little roller back to the pitcher. But it's a low throw from Klein. It's in the dugout. Lowenstein ends up on second. It's the first error of the year for Steve Klein. First error of the game. Here is Ted Ford. He's 0 for 2. He grounded to third and struck out in the fifth. Ball one. Wild pitch in the dirt. Lowenstein takes third. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Ball three. 3 balls, 1 strike. Changeup up the middle. Baker to his left. Has it. Lowenstein breaks for the plate. Baker throws out Ford, but Lowenstein scores. It's 3-2. Pitch hitting for Pasquale will be Jack Heidemann. Heidemann's hitting .205. No home runs, no runs batted in. He started the season at Wichita after he was injured in spring training. Up in the bullpen is Vince Coleman. Heidemann is 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 outs. And here's Veda Pinson. He's 1 for 3. He singled to lead off the game. 2-1 pitch. Liner into left. Base hit. Pinson represents the tying run. He's on first. Ted Eulander's up. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the first. Go to first. Pinson's back safely. Below the knees, strike 1. Low and inside, ball 2. Fouls it back. Munson's chasing it, but it's out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs. It's a grounder to short. Baker up with it to throw to first. 3 outs. He needs to get 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error. And they leave 1 on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is New York 3, Cleveland 2. pitch for Cleveland is Vince Colbert, making his 11th appearance of the year. He has a record of 2 wins, no losses, no saves, an ERA of 3.63. He's pitching 17 and a third innings, giving up 18 hits. He's walked 5, he struck out 13. Another one of these young guys that brings some heat. 1-2 pitch to Horace Clark. Lined up, down the line at third. In the corner. Clark's in second with a stand-up double. Here is Jerry Kenny, who's 1 for 3. He walked in the first, struck out in the third. Doubled in the 5th and grounded out in the 6th. Swing and a miss on the fastball, strike 1. Curveball, foul tip, strike 2. Grounder down the first base line, hit. Has it, he'll take it himself. 1 out, Clark takes third. Here is Bobby Mercer, who's 1 for 4. Singled in the 5th. They draw the infield in. In there at the knees, strike 1. Low, ball 1. Just caught the inside, or the outside corner, strike 2. High, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 6th inning at Fenway, Boston just took the lead from Baltimore. Big lead 5-4. It's a base hit in the left field. That'll score Clark. Yankees lead 4-2. Here is Roy White. He's 1 for 4. He singled on the 5th. That drove in Jerry Kenny. Down and tight, ball 1. Ball 2. Ball 3. Ball 4. Walked him on 4 pitches. Oh. Here's Thurman Munson. He's 1 for 1. Doubled in the 2nd. He has a pair of walks and a sacrifice bunt as well. Low, ball 1. It's a bouncer to Nettles at third. Throw to second. First. Double play. 5-4-3 double play. But in the bottom of the 8th, the Yankees get 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. No one left. We go to the 9th inning. It is New York 4, Cleveland 2. Steve Klein comes out. He is looking for his, let's see, third complete game of the season. Struggled this year so far, but he's looked good today. For the Indians in the 9th, it will be Ray Fosse, Greg Nettles, and Chuck Hinton. Fosse is 1 for 3. He grounded it into a double play in the 1st. That scored Vada Pinson. He singled in the 4th and grounded out in the 6th. 286 against right-handers. The 0-1 pitch. Grounder to second. What a dive by Clark. What a play. 1 out. Horace Clark's second great play of the game. Here batter is Greg Nettles, who's over 3. 2 ground outs, and he grounded into a force spot. 1-1 pitch. Bouncer to first. Ellis up with it. Taking himself. 2 outs. Indians are down to their final out. It's Chuck Hinton. He is over 3. Grounded out to the pitcher in the second. Struck out in the fourth. And flied out to Mercer in the seventh. The 0-2 pitch. It's base hit into right center. That's all the way to the wall. Hinton is in with a stand-up double. That's his first double of the season. There's Eddie Leone, who's been swinging a hot bat in May, but he's over 3 today. He represents the tying run. Right, that was called late. It's grounded to second. Clark up with it. Throw to first. And that's the ball game. Yankees win 4-2. Yankees had 4 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. Cleveland had 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Steve Klein gets the win. He's 2-2. He's been off to a tough start this year, but he looked good today. Pitched a complete game. Gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 of those unearned. Didn't walk anybody. He struck out 3. Had good stuff. Rich Hand got the loss. He's 0-1. He didn't look too bad either, but he got tired after pitching only 4 innings. Gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, both of those earned. He walked 3, he struck out 4. He's 0-1. Looks like he's still working on his stamina. Pasquale pitched in 3 innings in relief. He pitched out of a couple jams. He gave up 4 hits and 1 run, and he walked 4. So he struggled today. His first subpar relief appearance in about 3 weeks. And then Vince Colbert came in. He struggled a bit today, too. He pitched 1 inning, gave up 2 hits. He walked 1. He gave up a run. Cleveland left 4 men on base. New York left 3 men on base, or 13 men on base. I was thinking that might come back to bite them, but that didn't today. No home runs today, but there were 6 doubles. Chuck Hinton of the Indians had 1. Yankees had 5 doubles today. Felipe Alou had 1. Kurt Blefary had 1. Course Clark had 1. Jerry Kenny had 1. And Thurman Munson had 1. MVP of the game was Steve Klein. The tough loss for the Indians. But it seemed like they were in it all the way to the end. Time of the game was 2 hours and 46 minutes. Hope you enjoyed this game despite the Indians losing, and thank you for watching.